Okay, so magandang umaga again sa ating mga ka-eduk. Once again, this is your host, Seiji Casenta, and welcome back po sa ating Bura-Bura live session po dito sa ating course, which is Visual Arts along the JEC 16, and that is Arts Appreciation. So mapapansin niyo, ladies and gentlemen, isang linggo po tayong Visual Arts. Next week naman po, okay, we're going to tackle about music. Alright? So ngayon pong umaga, okay, I would like to introduce to you our members ng ating discussing team. So, all the way from Bachelor of Elementary Education, freshman. Okay, Section A. So, nandito po silang lahat. Magandang umaga sa inyo, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Hello po, good morning.
Good morning po, sir.
Oo.
Good morning po.
Ayan, alright. So, nandito tayo. So, we have 8 ladies and 1 gentleman. Ayan. So, ba't kasi pag B.Ed ko lang ang lalaki? Karamihan babae. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, sila po yung ating mga discussants po ngayong umaga po regarding po sa visual arts. Now, I would like to introduce to you one by one. Okay? So, may call on po Ma'am Christine Novhea Suya. Ma'am, bati ka po.
Morning. I am Christina Villa Barcasuya from B.Ed 1A.
Alright. Thank you very much, ma'am. Taga saan ka po?
I'm from Masbate City po.
Matnog? Tama ba? Narinig ko? Ma?
Masbate City po.
Oh, sorry, Masbate. Kaya pala medyo ano yan, may delay yung signal. Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Christine. Shoutout po sa mga taga Masbate. Masbate. Okay, Region 5. Thank you very much, Ma'am. Okay, and also we have again, Ma'am Daisy Malapo. Ma'am, bati ka po.
Hello mga ka-viewer, I'm Daisy T. Malapo from Salvacion, Pulangi, Albay. Sana na at tayo'y madagdagan ng ating kaalaman dito sa Art Appreciation.
Alright, so maraming salamat, Ma'am. Pwede na mag-host ng ano yan, no? Sa ano yung art attack o kaya ano yan, Lika Sining, di ba, sa mga TV station. Okay? Maraming salamat, ma'am. Once again po, coming from Salvacion, tama, ma'am?
Yes po sir, from Salvacion.
Okay, shoutout sa mga taga-barangay Salvacion, Pulangi, Albay. Okay, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat dyan, Rinconada area. Okay, and we have Ma'am Diana June Abanel. Ma'am, bati ka po.
Good day, everyone. I am Diana June Abanel from B.Ed 1A. I am from Itaran, Pulangi, Albay. I hope you will learn something special today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Diana. So, shoutout sa mga taga-barangay Itaran. Sa mga relatives namin dyan, mga sapo. Okay, alright. So, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Diana. And we have Ma'am Tricia Maydrio. Ma'am, bati ka po.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tricia Maydrio from Centro Occidental, Pulangi, Albay.
Oh, wow, ang taray. From the land of, yan. Centro Occidental si Ma'am. Okay. So, shoutout sa mga taga-barangay Sentro. Ma'am, tanong ka, anong part ng Sentro? O sa Ilawod ka ba?
Opo.
Okay, yan. So, shoutout sa mga taga-barangay Sentro Occidental Pulangi, Albay. Alright? So, magandang umaga sa inyo lahat again. Sa mga viewers natin, sa mga ang nag-aabang sa ating discussion. Okay, habang pinapresent ko sa inyo mga discussions natin, pwede po kayong magpa-shoutout. Okay, right now po before we start our lesson. Okay, so susunod sa ating mga discussions is we have Ma'am Tanya Sabio. Ma'am, bati ka po.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmates. I'm Tanya Sabio from Centro Occidental, Pulangi, Albay.
Ayan, magkatabi lang kayo, magkatabing barangay. Magkatabi lang kayong ano yan. Di ba kayo neighbor? Anong pro ka?
Uranus po ako, sir.
Uranus ka si Tricia.
Neptune po.
Ayan, so magkalapit lang kayo. Tingkantuhan lang yan. Alright, so shout out again ulit sa mga taga-barangay Centro Occidental. Okay, Pulangi, Albay. Thank you very much, Ma'am Tanya. And we have Sir Millard Carl Oray. Sir, bati ka po.
Okay, good morning po sa mga viewers, sir. I'm Millard Carci Orais, B.Ed 1A from Ubaliw, Pulangi, Albay.
Iyon, so napakalayo. Joke lang. Kasi ng mga panahon, pag sinasabi nating Ubaliw, that's Balyo ng sentro. So doon galing yung word na Ubaliw, Pulangi, Albay. Sa kabila kasi yan ang ilog. Alright, so shoutout po sa mga taga-barangay Ubaliw, Pulangi, Albay. Thank you very much, Sir Millard. And we have Ma'am Carmela Jean Recacho. Ma'am, bati ka po.
Hello everyone, my name is Carmela Jean Ebricacho from B.Ed 1A. I am from Cabangan, Uwas, Albay.
Alright, so shoutout sa mga taga-barangay. Ano yan? Kabaangan. Pero anong part yan ng Kabaangan talaga yan, ma'am? Yung barangay nyo dyan?
Yes po, sir.
Oo. Dito yung pagkalagpas ng tulay? O malapit sa
Opo.
tulay kayo? Alright.
Pagkalagpas po.
Okay. So, shoutout ulit sa mga taga-barangay Kabaangan, OWAS Albay. Thank you very much, Ma'am Carmela. And we have Ma'am Nathalie Mavituyo. Ma'am, bati ka po.
Good day, everyone. I'm Natalie Mabipandaan Tuyo from Santa Cruz, Dunsol, Sorsogon po, sir.
Alright. So, we have from Masbate and we have from Sorsogon. Okay? Donsol, ma'am, tama?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. So, shoutout sa mga taga-municipality of Donsol, Sorsogon. Thank you very much, Ma'am Natalie. And last, we have Maria Paula Corporal. Ma'am, bati ka po.
A pleasant day to each and everyone. I am Maria Paula E. Corporal from West Carsac, Libon, Albay.
West Carisac. Tama ba yung narinig namin? Okay. Shout out po sa ating mga taga-barangay West Carisac, Libon, Albay. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Maria. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, sila po yung bumubuo sa ating discussing team ngayon pong umaga regarding po sa ating topic, which is visual arts. Huwag kayong haalis, mga kedok, and we'll be right back. Okay, so nagbabalikan yung host, AJ Casentay. So, magandang umaga po sa lahat ng ating mga viewers kay dito po sa ating Bura-Bura live streaming session. Okay? With of course, arts appreciation. That's Jack 16. And our topic for today is about visual arts. So, pag-aaralan natin kung ano ba yung mga subtopics, yung mga content, yung mga categories, mga elements, at kung ano-ano pang mga bagay mapatungkol po sa visual arts. Now, hindi natin patatagalin. So, we have Ma'am Tricia. Tama ba ako? Or I think it's Ma'am Carmela. Ma'am Carmela, no?
Sir po, sir.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, okay, I would like to introduce now Ma'am Carmela Ricacho. Okay? We want to discuss the first topic regarding visual arts. Ma'am, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Our topic is all about visual artworks and artists. So, magsimula po ako sa visual arts. What is visual arts? Visual arts are those set forms intended to be appreciated or perceived primarily by sight. These art forms are prevalent and incredibly diverse. So, kapag sinabing visual arts, ito yung mga sining na nakakaagaw ng pansin sa ating mga mata or pumupukaw ng damdamin sa pamamagitan ng pagpapahayag ng kasanayan at imahinasyon. So remember, yung art is in everything and everywhere. So maraming mga piraso ng sining ng visual arts ay nilikha upang pasiglahin tayo sa mga pamamagitan ng isang visual na karanasan. So yung unang mapapansin natin sa isang kagandahan ng arts ay...
Yep. Akala ko sabi kanina ni Ma'am na nakawin ng aming puso.
Hindi.
Sige.
Kapag po tinitignan natin yung arts, ang unang mapapansin natin sa arts is yung kagandahan. Second, tinatanong po natin sa sarili kung bakit ba nga ba tayo nagagandahan sa art. Because marunong tayo mag-appreciate sa mga maliliit na bagay o mapalaki man. Kaya ko po ito yung sinasabi dahil ang visual arts ay talagang konektado sa pagpapahalaga ng sining. So, visual arts often provoke a feeling of some sort. How visual arts enhance learning. So, visual art education helps students understand basic skills like reading and writing. Lalo na po sa elementarya, di ba? So, crucial fundamental skills for daily life. nakakapagdagdag ng self-confident at self-understanding. Bukod doon, nakaka-enhance din ng communication skills and improve cognition sa nakabilang sa maraming dahilan para sa pagtuturo ng sining. So, naalala ko po noon na nung elementary ako, kapag gumagawa po kami ng arts, yung unang gagawin ko po is yung mag-observe. Siyempre, hindi man po ako makakagawa ng arts kung hindi ko naman pinag-iisipan masyado. At alangan pong gagawa na lang ako basta-basta. So,
Siyempre.
So, ito po yung sinasabi ko na na-enhance yung learning natin sa art. So, yun yung tinatawag na appreciation na konektado sa visual arts. Kasi when we say visual, it says eyes po baga. So, yun na nga yung visual arts. And let's proceed to the first category of visual arts. Fine arts.
Okay.
A. Fine arts are developed primarily for aesthetics or beauty and intellectual purposes and judged for its beauty and meaningfulness, emphasizing printing, sculpture, drawing, watercolor, graphics, and architecture. So if you like to do sketching, drawing, and creativity, then the study in fine arts will suit you. A fine art is a fine collection of art that is done to create beautiful things. Ito yung nagtuturo at naghahanda sa mga mag-aaral na maging isang artist at sumunod sa iba pang mga kasanayan na naugnay sa paggawa ng sining. According to Aristotle, the main aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but also their inward significance. So, hindi lang dapat tayo tumitingin sa panlabas na anyo, kundi sa panloob na kahalagahan. So, parang, i-compare ko po yung art sa love. Di ba po kapag gusto mong magka-jowa, tumitingin ka lang sa panlabas na anyo, yun po yung sinasabi ko na huwag ka lang basta-basta titingin sa panlabas, kundi yung
Panloob din.
sa panloob din.
May tanong dyan, visual. Paano doon namin matitingnan yung panloob?
Yung sir, ang characteristics po, sir.
Ayan. So in short, na-observe din natin yung panloob through manifestation, behavior. Okay, lalong-lalo na attitude ng isang tao, di ba? So malalaman. Kaya tama yan sabi ni ma'am. So kulang lang yung panlabas. So habang tumatagal yung relationship ninyo, nakikita mo na pa isa-isa yung panloob na niya, karakter ng isang tao. Doon mo malalaman kung kayo talaga. Okay, let's proceed, ma'am.
Yun po yung sa arts po, huwag lang mag-focus sa panlabas kasi may meaning yung pinakaloob nun.
Yan.
Kung bakit yun yung ginawa at kung bakit ganun yung kinalabasan ng arts. Hindi ka naman basta gagawa ng arts kung wala ka namang pagpapahalaga sa ginagawa mo. Ganun yun. So, ang sining ay isang bagay na nilikha para sa aesthetic o intellectual na layunin. Ito ay naiiba sa pandekorasyon ng sining o crafts na habang maganda ay nagsisilbing practical na layunin, maaaring maganda ang sining o naghahatid ng mga idea o emosyon, ngunit wala itong ibang layunin kundi maging sining or arts lang.
Okay. Well said. Okay, let's
So
proceed, ma'am.
Fine arts involves creative expression, and it doesn't have to be beautiful. It might convey an idea or an emotion or explore social commentary. So let's move on to the second category, the decorative arts. Decorative arts is an art form that applies design and decoration to everyday objects in order to make them aesthetically pleasing. This is more utilitarian and has function, but retains an artistic style and still requires talent to create. It includes tapestry, ceramics, mosaic art, glass art, jewelry, tattoo, woodwork, interior design, textile arts, and crafts.
Nag-mosaic na kayo nung elementary kayo? Nag-mosaic na ba kayo? Yung mga dinidikit-dikit na mga bagay, kahit anong object na miniature lang maliit para makabuo ng isang artwork. Okay? Yan yung
yung magazine po ata, gumawa po kami.
Yan. Yung ano lang yung available na mga material sa bahay. Minsan mga basura. So yung ginagawa, it's at the same time you are doing recycling activity, and at the same time you're doing artwork. Yan.
Yes po. So what is exactly decorative art? Is it arts made of decorative, like things that decorate the walls in your house? Well, not exactly, because a painting can decorate the walls of your house, but paintings are usually considered a fine arts. In general, the decorative arts is design and aesthetics of functional and utilitarian objects. The decorative arts are arts or crafts concerned with the design and manufacture of beautiful objects that are functional. It includes interior designs, but not usually architect. The decorative arts are a series of figurative artistic disciplines traditionally linked to the creative and decoration of objects of use, as opposed to the fine arts like painting, sculpture, drawing, engraving, photography, and mosaic intended to create artifacts whose sole purpose So, ang decorative arts ay may mahalagang papel that often scripted life of the higher echelons of society that was imitated by other. So, ano nga ba ang pinagkaiba ng fine arts sa decorative arts? Well, ang fine arts ay sadyang ginawa upang pukawin ang isang emosyon na reaksyon o bumuo ng isang intellectual na tugon. Maaring maghatid ng iba't ibang mga ideya o damdamin like mabuti at masama, nakakagulat, nakakagambala o kahit na pangit. Samantalang ang decorative ay limitado sa pamamagitan ng pandekorasyon na pag-andar o pag-function nito.
Okay.
So yun yung decorative.
Alright.
Next is the third category, which is the contemporary arts. So when many people think of art, maiisip nila ang mahuhusay na obra maestra na ginawa ng mga nakalipas na taon. However, the world are still thriving and always adapting to reflect the changing world. Ang sining ng mga nakaraang taon at ang kasalukuyang araw ay tumutukoy bilang contemporary art. So, ang contemporary arts is a form of art today conceived in modern times, which include photography, art print, video, art, animation, graffiti, and installation art. It reflects the complex issues that shape our diverse, global, and rapidly changing world. So isang sanggunian ng contemporary art na nangangahulugan ang sining na ngayon. Mas malawak kasi ang kinabibilangan ng mga likhang sining na ginagawa noong huling bahagi ng 20th and early 20th centuries. Ito ay karaniwang tumutukoy sa sining na ginawa pagkatapos ng kilusang modern art hanggang sa kasalukuyan. However, modern artwork is not just art produced during a specific time phase. Ang genre ng sining na ito ay may sariling diskarte o estilo na ikinaiba nito sa iba, like fine arts at decorative arts. This style of art is difficult to define because it includes such variety. So some argue that the basic approach and goal of modern art is to challenge the nature of artwork itself. It can also make the viewer question what it is that defines art. Therefore, ang estilo ng sining ay hindi particular na pare-pareho at maaaring mas may ilarawan ng maayos kaysa sa anumang iba pang genre ng sining. Additionally, there are several major reasons why contemporary art is important to society. For instance, it is meant to express oneself as it is way to provide social and cultural commentary. One of the benefits of contemporary arts is that it allows individual a means of personal expression sa pamamagitan ng pagpinta, pag-eskultura at performance art. Maaring ipahayag ng sinuman ang kanilang sarili in a way that will be safely observable by others. And the most prominent feature of contemporary art is the fact that it has no distinction or a single characteristic. It is defined by the artist's ability to innovate and bring out a modern masterpiece. Next po, sir.
All right.
Let's talk about the medium of visual arts. Medium comes from the Latin word medium, which denotes the ways of methods by which communities his idea. It is very essential to art. So, ang medium ay tumutukoy sa mga materyales na ginagamit ng isang pintor. I mean, painting, the art of creating meaningful effects on a flat surface by the use of. Medium can be either the oil which is mixed with pigments, human body in a performance, or even printing. Medium refers to any raw material or mode of expression used in creative or artwork. Ano ba yun?
Sige.
Ang classification at interpretasyon ng medium ay masyadong simple para sa sining ngayon. The materiality and feelings of viewer or an artist are not a preset as it suggests. Ang lahat ng artistikong media ay maaring katangian sa pamamagitan lamang ng pagsasaalang-alang sa ilang aspeto ay nakakalimutan natin kung paano kinakasangkutan ng sining ang lahat ng ating iba't ibang pandama. But this idea has emerged slowly as artists have gradually realized the possibilities and limitations of the techniques and materials, and new tools have been developed. So nowadays it is extremely common to use mixed media. In fact, artists have been experimenting by combining and blending different techniques and tools to achieve new effects, especially in the visual arts. Different processes have blurred the boundaries of the materials used in visual media with collage, textiles, ceramics, or plastic. Certain artists use a combination of different media. This is their signature, and the overlapping of different tools is central to their art. Yung visual, so ito na. Visual arts are those mediums in which occupy space. So, merong two-dimensional art including printing, drawing, printmaking, textile, and photography. The three-dimensional art techniques including sculpture, architect, crafts, ceramics, and jewelry na i-discuss po ng next discussion. Yun na po.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma'am Carmela. So mga ka-eduk, well said, Ma'am. Okay, so yon. So napakadami pong ibig sabihin ng ang arts. And diniscuss po ni Ma'am yung mga categories po ng arts. Namely, kay Ma'am, pwede natin pakiulit para sa ating mga ka-eduk. Okay, namely, the first one, we have fine arts. Tapos yung mic mo naka-up. Ayan. Okay.
Fine art
Yep.
ay the three categories of visual arts
arts.
are fine arts, decorative arts, and contemporary arts.
Okay. And thank you very much, ma'am. Gusto ko kang linawin mga ka-edu. Pag sinabi nating medium, ito yung ginagamit para ma-express mo yung visual art. So, pag sinabi nating medium, that is singular. Pag sinabi naman nating media, that is plural. Okay, thank you very much, Agalet, Ma'am Carmela. Well said po, ma'am. At mga ka-eduk, huwag kayong aalis at meron pa tayong pag-aaralan. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Alright, so nagbabalik ng yung host, Sage Casenta, and first of all, I would like to thank our discussant ulit, kay nakapag-discuss si Ma'am Carmela, and check natin ang ating live stream section. Okay, so I would like to, I would like to bate. I would like to acknowledge, okay, the following viewers right now. So we have Ma'am Sheena Colette, good morning, sir. Ma'am Darlene Joy Corporal, pa-shoutout, sir. All right. And we have Ma'am Ellie Rose Olivares, good morning, sir. Yan yung sabi ni Ma'am. Okay. And we have here Ma'am Nikki Aguirre. Okay, good morning, guys. Ma'am Sheena ulit. And Ma'am Angela Christie Resayaga. All right. Shoutout naman po dyan. Okay. And we have Ma'am Roan Rangasa, good morning. Okay, ang Ma'am Maricar Oro Lumad, good morning po. Okay, magandang umaga rin po sa inyong lahat. And we have here Ma'am Marisol Makawili Recto. Okay, good morning, sir. Bituled 1A is watching. Alright, maraming salamat, ma'am. All the way from other course. Okay, maraming salamat po. And we have Ma'am Nanette Salvia Albia. Nandiyan po rin siya. Siya ba yung kahapon? Kasabay din natin. Okay. And we have Ma'am Renaling Clavo. Sir, pa-shout out po sa buong BED1A. God bless sa inyo. Kaya natin to. Kayang-kaya talaga nila. Kaya nila. Sige. And we have Ma'am Gian Payan fighting 1A. Maraming salamat, ma'am. And of course, we have Ma'am Mayra Malyet. Good morning, sir. Okay, how do you call that? Malyete? Okay? Okay? Sabi, go guys! Sabi ni Ma'am Nanette. Okay? Of course, we have Ma'am Nikki Aguirre. Good luck, BED1A. Ma'am Angela Christie Rasayaga again. And we have Myra Malyet. Good luck, BED1A. Okay? Kay Ma'am Darlene ulit. Kay Ma'am Angela. Okay, good morning sa inyong lahat. Pa-heart daw, yan, lahat may heart. Okay. Kian, sabi ni Ma'am Kian. Okay. God bless discussant. Go Daisy. Yung kagrupo niya. Alright, sa mga nandito pa po na hindi ko na rin nababati, maraming salamat po for your continued support dito po sa ating Bura-Bura live stream. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, okay, let's proceed na po sa ating next discussant. Okay, so I think ready na po ulit si Ma'am. Okay, we have here Ma'am Tricia May Drio. Ma'am, it's your turn na po.
Good morning, everyone. I will discuss the painting. Painting is the application of pigments to a support surface that establishes an image, design, or decoration. In the act, the term painting describes both the act and the result. Most painting is created with pigment in liquid form and applied with brush. Painting as a medium has survived for thousands of years and is, along with drawing and sculpture, one of the oldest creative mediums. It is used in some form by cultures around the world. There are 6 major painting mediums, each with specific individual characteristics. The first one is Encaustic. Encaustic paint mixes dry pigment with a heated beeswax binder. The mixture is then brushed or spread across a support surface. Reheating allows for longer manipulation of the paint. Encaustic dates back for the 1st century and was used extensively in funerary mummy portraits. The example of that is the plug Jasper Johns encaustic oil and collage on fabric mounted on plywood. The second one is tempera. Tempera paints combine pigment with an egg yolk binder, then pinned and released with water. Like an encaustic, tempera has been used for thousands of years. It's dry quickly to a durable matte finish. Tempera paintings are traditionally applied in successive thin layer cold glazes. Because of the technique, tempera paintings are known for their detail. The example of that is Duccio da Cribole Madonna, Mausoleo de Opera del Domosena, Italy. The third one is fresco. Fresco painting is used exclusively on plaster, walls, and ceiling. The medium of fresco has been used for thousands of years, but is most associated with its use in Christian image during the Renaissance period in Europe. There are two forms of fresco: buon or wet, and secco meaning dry. Buon fresco consists of painting in pigment mixed with water on a thin layer of wet, fresh lime mortar or plaster. The pigment is applied to the absorbent by the wet plaster. After a number of hours, the plaster dries and reacts with the air. It is this chemical reaction that fixes the pigment particles in the plaster. The example of that is Domenico di Micino, Lino, Dante's Divine Comedy. Secco fresco refers to the painting an image on the surface of dry plaster wall. This medium requires a binder since the pigment is not mixed into the wet plaster. And tempera is the most common binder used for this purpose. It was common to use secco fresco over buon fresco murals in order to repair damage or make changes to the original. The example of that is Leonardo da Vinci, The Last Supper. Oil. The number 4, the fourth characteristic is oil. Oil paint is most versatile of all the painting mediums. It uses pigment mixed with a binder of linseed oil. Linseed oil can also be used as the vehicles, along with the mineral spirit or turpentine. Oil painting was thought to have developed in Europe during the 15th century, but recent research on murals found in Afghani cave show oil-based paints were used there as early as the 7th century. The example of that is John Brookhill, the elder flower in a vase. The fifth characteristic of the medium painting, major, is acrylic. Acrylic paint was developed in the 1950s and became the alternative to oils. Pigment is suspended in an acrylic polymer emulsion binder and uses water as the vehicle. The acrylic polymer has characteristics like rubber and plastic. Acrylic paint offers the body, color, resonance, and durability of oil without the expense, mess, and toxicity issues of using heavy solvent to mix them.
Ito yung pinaka sikat ngayon gamitin at pinakamura actually, acrylic paint. Okay, ito yung pinaka-available ngayon sa market at madami talaga siya ngayon sa market. Because of low cost, kayo makakagawa ka rin ng painting, okay, na parang oil din ang dating. Kasi may characteristic siyang ganun. At ang kagandahan dito is may water base niyan. So, hindi ka na po gagamit ng oil. Ang oil painting, ang mahal-mahal. Sa kinakailangan mo ng oil painting, dapat match yan, oil canvas. Hindi kung saan-saan dyan lang na papel. Gamit ka ng oil, gamitin mo sa coupon band. Subukan nyo kung ano mangyari doon sa pinta. Okay, so iba-iba yung gamit nating medium. Pero yung sinasabi ni ma'am ngayon, because of the in the contemporary times, okay, papasukan nyo ng tawag ba dito, pagiging practical. Normally, acrylic paint, mura. Okay? Tapos, pwede siyang gamitin kahit saan. Pero meron dyan isang technique kasi ang purpose kasi ng acrylic is meron tinatawag tayong quick dry. Yung pagkapinta mo, dry na, madali. Pahanginan lang, okay na. So, dapat pag gagamit na ito, dapat talaga praktisado ka na. Kasi napakahirap kung nagkamali ka, papatong ka na naman ng bago. Okay? Then, of course, meron dyan isang inilalagay pa para mas lalong tumigas or let's say, mas lalong ma-preserve. Yung tinatawag nating acrylic emulsion. Kasi normally, ginagamit ang acrylic sa mga mural painting. So, kung gagamit ka niyan sa mural, dapat para ma-preserve yung gawa, lagyan mo na acrylic emulsion. Yung parang tubig lang yan, parang makintab. Pag nag-dry yan, parang plastic. Kahit tamaan niya ng ulan, hindi po basta-basta masisira. Let's proceed, ma'am.
The last major of painting is watercolor. Watercolor is the most sensitive of the painting mediums. It reacts to the lightest touch of the artist and can become an overworked mess in a moment. There are two kinds of watercolor media, transparent and opaque. Transparent watercolor operates in reverse relationship to the other painting mediums. It is traditionally applied to a paper support and relies on the whiteness of the paper to reflect light back through the applied color. While opaque paints reflect light of the skin of the paint itself. Watercolor consists of pigment and a binder of gun arabic, a water-soluble compound made for the sap of the acacia tree. It's dissolved easily in water. That's all. Thank you. Pigment, binder, solvent. Mga ingredients, 3 basic ingredients.
So, good day everyone. I'm going to discuss about drawing, materials used in drawing, printmaking, and lithography. Next is the drawing. It is the art or technique of producing images on a surface, usually paper, by means of marks, usually of pen and ink, charcoal, or crayon. It is also an artistic method of expression that allows the creator to show how they view the world or interpret different aspects of it. So the drawing as a form of creative work can be characterized as the predominantly linear portrayal of observable objects. It is a visual representations of concepts, thoughts, attitudes, and emotions. So drawing, it is a work of art by the artist with meaningful message to the viewers. And there are examples of materials used in drawing, which consist pencils, pen and ink, charcoal, and crayons. Let me first discuss the use of pencils. Pencils are the most versatile of drawing media because of the variety of marks that can be made. Marks can be subtle and delicate, or bold or vigorous. So, pencils is the most popular and useful instrument in drawing. Artists use pencils to create marks or patterns. Next is the charcoal. It is a versatile medium that can be used in an expressive drawing style or with a more detailed technique suited to naturalistic art. Charcoal is used much the same way as a pencil. It's tool for drawing, shading, and blending. So sa pen and ink po, it is the most portable, convenient, low-cost form of art making. It is more challenging than pencil because the mark of pen and ink is permanent. But it gives excitement to the artist because it can make the artist confident and more creative on what they are doing. Next is the crayons. A crayon is a stick of pigmented wax used for writing or drawing. It is an implement for drawing made from clay, chalk, graphite, dry color, and wax. So, crayons po is one of the useful materials in drawing because it can make the art more colorful, vibrant, realistic pieces of art. An artist can use crayons to make it more attractive to the viewers. Next is printmaking. It is an artistic process based on the principles of transferring images from a matrix onto other surface, most often paper or fabric. So sa printmaking po, it allows pieces of art to be shared, reproduced, and circulated both quickly and inexpensively. Next is lithography. Lithography was invented in the late 18th century, initially using Bavarian limestone as the printing surface. Its invention made it possible to print a much wider range of marks and areas of tone than possible with earlier printing relief or intaglio methods. So sa lithography po, it is the process of printing artworks with high quality and can be transferred into other paper or materials. That's all about my topic po, sir.
Alright, thank you very much, ma'am. So, yun po yung tinatawag nyong drawing. Yung paborito ng mga bata. Okay? So, normally, if you're going to use this particular materials, okay, kasi palagi itong pinapagawa sa elementary, sa inyo, sa level ninyo. Okay, of course, direct supervision coming from the teacher is a must. Kasi kung ano gawin ng bata, ako dati noon, example ko sa inyo kasi gumagawa ako ng artwork, gusto makipaglaro ng kaklase ko, na bad trip ako. Tinugso kong lapis. Nagrorogo. Ano nangyari sa artwork? Guidance artwork. Yun ang nangyari sa amin. That's why, kaya importante na yung teacher, kapag nagpapagawa ng artwork, active din siyang umiikot. Although you are facilitators of learning, well, hindi ibig sabihin uupo ka na sa likod. Lalo kung primary grade. Grades 1 to 2. Nako po, dapat may direct supervision yung teacher. Alright? So, thank you very much, Ma'am Maria. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, madali na po tayong matapos sa ating discussion. So, don't go away and we'll be right back. Okay, so nagbabalik ang yung host, Sheiji Kasensa, at magandang umaga ulit sa ating mga viewers, sa ating mga discussant, at sa ating mga kapwa education students na nanonood ngayon, right, sa ating Bura-Bura live stream. Alright, so tapos na po ang ating discussant regarding po sa ating first half ng visual arts. Okay, so namely we have po Ma'am Carmela, okay, Ma'am Tricia, and Ma'am Maria po na nag-discuss po kanina regarding po sa basics ng visual arts, the medium, okay, painting and drawing. So let's proceed na po sa next topic natin, and we have Ma'am Tanya. Tama? Alright. So si Ma'am Tanya Sabio. Ma'am, okay, it's your turn po.
Again, good morning, sir. Good morning, classmates. So this is the continuation of the discussion. Tattoo. Permanent insertion of ink below the skin using a sharp instrument. So we are familiar naman dyan, and one of the example is that is si Wang Ud. Ang tattoo ay ginagawa sa pamamagitan ng pag-insert ng ink o tinta sa balat upang bumuo ng isang disenyo. It's either permanent na ito kung gusto mo, or naman ay hindi permanente or temporary lamang. Halimbawa, pwede kang magpatato ng isang imahe o kaya mga kataga sa iba't ibang parte ng iyong katawan. Kadalasan sa mga nagpapatato ay may kahulugan o symbol sa kanila ang bawat tattoo sa kanilang balat. Next is photography or pictorialism. Photography is the art, utilization, and practice of creating long-lasting images by recording light or other electromagnetic radiation. And the pictorialist naman is the photography that emphasizes beauty of subject matter, tonality, and composition rather than the documentation of reality. The pictorialist perspective was born in the late 1860s. It approached the camera as a tool that, like the paintbrush and chisel, could be used to make an artistic statement. Next slide po, the graffiti. Opo.
Graffiti yan. Sige.
Graffiti, writing of or drawings that have been scribbled, scratched, or painted illicitly on a wall or other surface other within public view. So, yan yung nakikita natin madalas, and minsan nire-label siya as vandalism, pero others may find it as graffiti.
Ganito. Para hindi kasi maging vandalism yung mga ganitong uri ng arts like graffiti art, okay? Kasi gamit yan spray paint o kung ano pa mga medium. Para hindi maging vandalism, isa lang ang gagawin nyo. Kukuha kayo ng permit. sa gobyerno, sa authority. Okay, may we have po, ma'am, the permit for ano yan, or let's have, kukuha kami ng permiso po sa inyo para gumawa po ng ganitong uri ng art. Kasi ano yan, may gusto kaming iparating sa ating mga kababayan. Okay lang yun. Pag binigyan kayo ng permit, o di malaya kayo makakagawa on a specific wall lang or street wall na nandyan. Pero kung basta na lang kayo nagpinta, tapos private property pa lang kanto, ay yari kayo. So, pwede kayo talagang kasuhan ng vandalism. Okay, let's proceed, ma'am.
Yun na po yun, sir, yung i-discuss ko. That forward discussion. And,
Tapos ka na?
opo,
Sige. Alright.
may
So,
I now call,
sige.
may I now call Miss Diana Abanel to proceed on the next topic. Thank
Okay,
you.
Sean. Alright, thank you very much, ma'am. Okay? So, i-clear lang natin ito, ladies and gentlemen, sa photography. Alam niyo, sinusunod ng konsepto ng photography is ang konsepto ng mata ng tao. Paano niyo masabi? Kasi meron niyang ISO, meron niyang aperture, meron niyang shutter speed, so forth. Ang isa sa pinaka-importante sa magandang klase ng photography is the focus. If you're going to check it, try niyo sa kamay ninyo. Pag tiningnan niyo yung kamay ninyo right like this, okay? So makikita niyo yung concept, yung lahat ng details ng inyong kamay. Pero yung sa likod ng inyong kamay, hindi niyo yan makikita, blur siya. So, subukan niyo yan. Ganyan pa ang konsepto ng photography. Of course, ang tinutukoy ko talaga is yung mga photographic lenses or let's say photographic materials like the digital camera and yung may glass camera din. Pero yung mga smartphones nyo ngayon, meron tinatawag na na mga AI na kung saan or artificial intelligence na parang minimimik na niya yung digital camera at napakaganda na po ng dating. Kaya ngayong 21st century, parang hindi na po talaga parang baliktad na parang ang pinaka feature talaga nung smartphone camera, hindi na yung telecommunication. Ang purpose lang talaga ng phone is for communication. So parang ang kuan na lang, parang freebie na lang yung telecommunication, yung SIM card, yung memory, bibili nyo na lang, something like that. Pero pagdating ngayon sa market, ang talagang pinaka-focus, the main feature is the lens. Ilan na lens ngayon? Dati isa lang. Minsan nga kalahati pa. Ngayon 3 na, may 4 na, may 5 pa. So, ang dami na pong options na pwede pong bilhin. Kasi halos lahat po ngayon, in the contemporary age, halos lahat nakafocus sa photography. Bakit? Madali na, okay? Hindi na kayo mahihirapan, at kaya nyong dalhin kahit saan. Okay? Thank you very much ulit, Ma'am Tanya. And let's proceed po sa ating next discussion. So, we have Ma'am Diana. Ma'am, it's your turn na po.
Good day, everyone. I am Diana June M. Abanel from BEd 1A. I will going to discuss the three-dimensional arts such as sculpture, architecture, and ceramic arts. So, ano nga ba ang three-dimensional arts? Ang three-dimensional arts is occupy space defined through dimension of height, width, and depth. It includes sculpture, installation, and performance art, craft, and product design. So, anuhin natin ang similarities and differences ng 2D sa 3D. So, ang two-dimensional art and three-dimensional art is both visual arts. And the difference between the two is that two-dimensional arts have height and width. It is a technique that are created in it on a flat plane. For example, the drawing and the painting. Ang three-dimensional art naman is presented in the dimension of height, width, and depth that occupies physical space and can be perceived from all sides and angles. For example, sculpture, architecture, and ceramic art.
In short,
ang
yung
3D is totoo. Parang totoo po.
Yung 2D, we have X and Y axis. Right? We have X and Y.
Yes.
Yung 3D, we have Z. So, meron ng depth. Okay? Pagpatuloy mo yung sinabi mo.
Kumbaga, ang 2D ay mayroon lamang 2 dimensyon. Ito ay ang lapad at ang haba. Ang 3D naman ay may lalim, lapad, at haba.
Okay.
So, next is the sculpture. The sculpture is the kind of visual art that 3 dimension. Yun na nga yun. Yung 3D po siya. Sculpture is the art of forming solid objects that represent a thing, person, idea, and etc. So, pag nakakakita tayo ng mga sculpture, ito ay different sa pagkita natin sa painting dahil sa sculpture, pwede tayong maglakad-lakad, makita ang taas at ang baba niya. Makita ang ibabaw at loob nito. Next is we have here the three classification of sculpture: the freestanding, relief, and environmental. First, freestanding or self-supported, where the viewer can see around the work to see it all sides. So, yun na nga po, yung keyword is self-supported. So, it is a structure that is unattached to any background na makikita natin sa daan, na mabuview natin yung all angles niya. Itong sculpture na ito ay parang walang siya sandalan sa likod. Nakatayo lang po talaga.
Example,
next
mga
is-
monumento. Diba? Mga monumento.
Yan, ito
Or
po
monuments.
Yes po.
Okay.
Madidiscuss po natin yon mamaya. Next is relief, where the primary form surface is raised above the surrounding material such as an image on a coin. So, ang example, para mas mabilis nating maintindihan, pag may piso tayo, yung art doon is naka-elevate yung image. Parang naka-highlight yung mga tao sa isang coin.
Ah, okay.
Yung-
Anong tawag dyan ulit, ma'am?
Yung relief po.
Ah, okay.
Also, relief is wall-mounted sculpture that in which the 3D elements are flat base. Relief sculpture is any work which projects from but which belong to the wall or other types of background surface on which it is carved. For example nga nito ay yung nasa United States, yung mga presidents of America na yung Mount Rushmore na located sa South Dakota, United States. So next is environmental. Environmental addresses social and political issues relating to the natural and urban environment. So environmental sculpture aims to raise awareness of the negative impacts of environmental population that through art and inspire change. Ito also an attraction to the people, and ito ay madalas na makikita sa Eco Park.
Alright. Let's proceed, ma'am.
This is the types of sculpting. First is the stone. So, we are familiar with stone because natakal na din po ito ni Sir nung first lesson natin.
Mhm.
So, ang example ko dito is the Rizal Monument in Luneta. Stone is sandstone, granite, basalt, marble, and limestone are all examples of stone. It's a hard substance made out of mineral and earth materials that are rough appearance, according to Ariola 2014. Ang di natin naakalain na ang stone ay pwede ding maging art.
Mhm. Tama. Pero nga lang, ladies and gentlemen, okay, kung papansin ninyo, we have so many monumental sculptures around the world. Okay? Pero di ba nyo tinatanong sa mga sarili ninyo, noong mga panahon na limited pa ang technology, gaano kaya yung katagal ginawa? Yung mga ganyang uri ng artwork. So it takes time. Diba? Pero tulad ngayon, iba na because of technology, we have modern casting, yung naguhulma. So halos hindi na po talaga literally katagalan. Pero yung skill po ng pagiging sculptor ay pinag-aaralan po ulit yan. Ay hindi po yan yung basta ka lang diyang makapulot ng idea, gagawa ka. Hindi. For you to become an artist, okay, pagdating sa sculpturing, okay, or in sculpture, kinakailangan mo din po mag-aral ng professional education nito. Okay? So we have so many And sa tingin nyo, yung mga talents na ganyan, mahal ba ang bayad? Nako po, of course, mahal ang mga bayad niyan. Skill kasi yan, di ba? So katungan ng laborer sa na simple, gawin 500, 600 per day. Ito pa kaya mga to, ng mga very skilled na craftsman. So probably depende yan sa usapan ng contractor or ng person involved sa pagpapagawa or sa pag-commission ng isang sculpture art. Okay, let's proceed, ma'am.
The next is jade. It's a semi-precious green or white stone that is highly prized and frequently used in China as a carving and jewelry stone. Jade is so expensive type of gemstone. In China, more often, pag nakikita natin ang mga jewelry sa kanila, one of the most important reason why jade cave objects were so highly priced is that because the Chinese believe that jade represents beauty, longevity, even immorality. The picture shows the artifacts from Palawan. So natagpuan siya sa Palawan, Philippines.
Akala ko sa
Next is
akala ko sa Palawan Express. Hindi, joke lang. Ganito, ang jade po is one of the most important gemstones in the ancient China because it symbolizes power, beauty, and of course the gift from the heavens. Pag binigyan ka ng buong jade coming from even nga yung seal ng ng emperor noon, jade talaga po yung kanyang hawakan. O, talagang may mga jade Buddha nga. So, very precious siya. So, sa simbolo po kasi ng Chinese art making, pag binigyan ka ng buong art form ng jade, ibig sabihin, marangal kang tao, parang symbol of, or let's say, token of appreciation para sa'yo. Ngayon, parang certificate, di ba? Sa kanila yon or sa atin, medal. Dati sa kanila, jade. Pag binigyan ka ng jade na bitak, ay ibig sabihin, pinapalayas ka na sa lugar nila. Broken jade nga, ibig sabihin, you are damned. Okay? So, hindi ka na pwede sa lugar namin. Binabash ka na ng tao. So, pag ganun mga bagay, lalo sa mga higher ranking officials, pag binigyan ka ng jade na buo, you are very trusted. Pag binigyan ka ng jade na biak na, putol na, ay nako po, magsimula ka na mag-impake. Okay? Baka putulong ka ng yan. Yun yung symbol ng jade sa ancient China. Okay? So, let's proceed, ma'am.
Let us proceed in ivory. It is a hard white or cream-colored substance created from the tusks of animals such as elephant and others. Ivory, the material which is made of teeth and tusks of animals, it has a very light tint of yellow. Elephant tusks have been the main source of ivory used for such as carvings, although the tusks of walrus and other ivory bearing mammals have also been worked. Next is metal. Metal are one of the favorite materials used by sculptors because of its conductivity, and luster.
Ibig sabihin,
ang metal,
madali siyang hulmahin, madali siyang tikuin, madali siya ulit pantayin. Kaya maganda yung metal. Di ba, ma'am? So, ano pa, ma'am?
Yun nga, sir. Metal can be also is a good example of 3D art because yung body niya ay kayang i-bend and you can make another figure. The metals used as medium for sculpture are copper, brass, bronze, silver, gold, and aluminum. Next is plaster. It is a combination of lime, water, sand, gypsum, and both cement. It is used extensively in making mannequins, models, molds, architectural decoration, and other indoor sculpture. Ang plaster, ito ay napaka-versatile at madaling ibagay na material at mabilis natutuyo na nagbibigay daan sa paggawa ng pagbilis dahil ito ay madaling matuyo.
Okay.
Next is clay. An earthy material that consists primarily of hydrated aluminum, silicates, and it is used for pottery, ceramics, sculpture, and bricks. Clay, it is a plastic when moist but hard when fired. So it is necessary to cast it in durable mold because before cooking it or oven. Clay is sculpture produced by molding. Makakagawa ka ng sculpture gamit ang clay sa pagmo-molding.
During those times, the ancient times, ito yung ginagamit. Mga koron, ayan, pinaylutuan. O ba't nga ta koron ka to? Nga ta di na-crack. Diba, bakit di nagka-crack habang nilulutuan? Mas lalo pala siyang tumatagal kapag naiinit. No? Pero subukan yung basain. Yan yung problema ng clay. Okay? So, hindi siya waterproof. Okay, let's proceed, ma'am.
The example of this is nandyan po sa picture, Parada Technique by Joe Giraldo. Next is glass. Glass is a transparent and translucent substance that is hard, brittle, and transparent. It can be formed into various colors and shape under extreme heat. Glass is a type of fine art sculpture where the medium of expression used by the artist is glass. It can be formed in various colors and shape under extreme heat.
Yun.
Next is wood. Wood is the sculpture medium most comfortable to craft than any other medium. So yung mga traditional woods na ginagamit is dapdap, mahogany, and nara.
Yan ang pinakamadali talaga kasi mas controllable mo yung element. Ngunit ngayong panahon, yan po ang pinakamahal. Kasi yung mga nabanggit ni Ma'am na kahoy, mahogany, yung mga kahoy na yan, ang mamahal na yan ngayon. Kasi halos halos konti na rin yung supply nila. Kaya kulang na yung nagpapagawa ng ang wood sculpture. Or kung mayroon naman magpa-commission, ay talagang mga may kaya or let's say binadgetan. Kung mapapansin niyo yung mga paso natin Holy Week. Okay, Holy Week na nga ngayon pala, Ash Wednesday na. O sa mga Katoliko, mas commonly na ginagamit nilang ang materials for dun sa mga santo at santa, sa mga pasos is wood sculpture. So, karamihan ng mga ganyan, yung mga magagaling talagang gumagawa, nandiyan po sa parte po ng Quezon tapos sa Laguna. Diyan po sa Quezon and Laguna provinces. Magagaling po yung mga artist natin diyan pagdating po sa wood sculpture. Okay? So, let's proceed, ma'am.
Next is the architecture.
Kakalokan. Bigla po bosok agriculture. Architecture. Sige.
Architecture. Architecture is the art and technique of designing and building, as distinguished from the skills associated with construction. So, kung mapapansin nyo, may engineers tayo and architecture. Architect. Kasi dapat ang dalawang yon ay magkatandem. Kung baga, mag-partner sila. Yung architect ay bahala sa exterior and interior design ng building. At ang engineer naman is yung structural integrity. Kumbaga yung foundation niya kung gaano siya katibay.
Alright. Kaya sabi ng isang vlogger, if you cannot afford to have a professional engineer and architect, you don't have the right to create a house. Kasi ang hinahabol natin is insurance. Kung biglang naglinog, nagaba, mahabol yung foreman? Hindi. Yan ang problema. So, dapat, ipon ka muna para mapagawa na sa iyong sariling dream house. Let's proceed, ma'am.
Next is the characteristics that distinguish a work of architecture from other built structures are the suitability of the work to be used by human beings in general and the adaptability of it to particular human activities. The stability and permanence of the work construction, plus the communication of experience, aesthetics, and ideas to its form.
Okay.
Yung
Totoo talaga yan.
first is dito pino-point out ang kaangkupan ng architecture na gawain ng pagtao or as our architect. Yung pangalawa naman is yung pagkakaroon ng katatagan and having permanence which describe the mass and celerity of one's work. Last is apply the communication and most especially the ideas of one's work. Lastly, the ceramic art. Nakapunta na po ba kayo sa sa tiwi? Yung pagawaan ng
No.
mga patil?
Yep. Yan, alam mo dyan.
Yun po.
Mga koron, di ba? Made of clays. Yung mga hindi pa nakakapunta, mag-start na kayo. Baka mga dayuhan kayo sa sarili nyong bayan. Sige, proceed, ma'am.
Ceramics is made from ceramic materials including clay. It may takes form including artware, tile, figureness, sculpture, and tableware. Ceramics derived from keramus, Greek for potter's clay, refers to items made from clay bodies and fired into kneel to obtain the finished form.
Okay, let's proceed.
For ceramics, most commonly na ginagamit dito nga is clay. For some reason, naging specific na ang clay for ceramic because of its ability to easy to mold and shape into piece of art.
Yan.
Next is the four-step creative process of ceramic art. Forming, firing, glazing, or decorating, refiring. Yung forming, paghulma, firing, hardening the clay para mag-stay ito sa kanyang form shape. Glazing is applying the desired design you want. And refiring, and the final is hardening the design to be permanent.
Yep. Okay, iniinit yan para tumigas. Actually, we have the old ways. Mano-mano talaga kamay yung pinapaikot yon, tapos umiikot yung ano yan, yung tawag ba dito, hulmahan. Pag umiikot na yon, ilalagay mo ng kamay mo. It's up to you na for the artist to mold it properly. So, iikot na. Pero ngayon, di makina na, di kuryente na. Madali na lang po yung paghulma. Isa sa mga favorite ceramic arts ng industriya ngayon ay hindi actually clay, kundi hindi clay. Alam mo kung ano? Plastic. Kasi yung pinakamadali pong ibenta ngayon. Durable na siya, tapos magaan pa. Mura pa. Ang clay kasi minsan, iingatan mo. Dahil pag yan po nahulog, nako po, hindi siya durable like the cement or ano yan, concrete or plastic. Kaya karamihan ngayon, nag-iikot sa atin, puro na sa na plasticware. So, yung koron, doon talaga kayo pupunta sa tiwi para makita talaga ninyo mga mas magagandang mga materials na hindi pa nadadamage. Okay? Yun lang po ba, ma'am?
Thank you po.
Alright, thank you very much, Ma'am Diana June Abanel. Okay? So mga kaeduk, huwag kayong alas. Let's have a short break. Medyo napahaba ang ating discussion, but anyway, marami pa tayong pag-uusapan. So don't go away and we'll be right back. Alright, so magandang umaga ulit sa ating mga viewers and welcome back again sa ating Bura-Bura live stream along po ng Visual Arts in Jack 16 which is Arts Appreciation. So, let's proceed na po sa ating next topic and we have Ma'am Nathalie Tuyo. Ma'am, ikaw na po.
Good day, everyone. I am going to discuss about the continuation of types of the three-dimensional arts. First is animation. Animation, a technique in which images are manipulated to appear as moving forms. Animated films are ones in which individual drawings, paintings, or illustrations are photographed frame by frame. Familiar ba kayo sa yung every page is my drawing na saka yung different position na kapag in-scan mo siya ng mabilis, makikita mo na yung
Yes.
stickman,
Mm.
gumagalaw.
Yan.
Yun po yung sinasabing frame by frame na
Yes.
animation.
That's the basics of animation. Diyan talaga yung nagsimula. Yung papel na in-scroll. Yan. So makikita mo gumagalaw isa-isa yung images. And forming now the frame, depende sa speed, you can see now what we call animation. Let's proceed, ma'am.
By frame by frame, giving the illusion of movement when succession at 24 frames per second. So, itong animation na to, ito yung traditional or hand-drawn animation process. Animation, the earliest cinema animation was composed of by frame hand-drawn images. Next is movie. Movie production or film making. The process of making a film, generally in the sense of films intended for extensive theatrical exhibition. Motion picture, also called film or movie. The motion picture is a remarkably effective medium in conveying drama and especially in evocation of emotion. Example po ng movie production or filmmaking is yung movie na The Flash. Yung bida doon, yung The Flash.
Si Flash.
Yung lalaki. Sorry.
Si Bida doon, si Flash. Okay.
Motion pictures are series of still photographs on films projected in rapid succession onto a screen by means of light. Mapapansin natin na kapag tumatakbo siya, may makikita tayong parang light na nagko-convey na mabilis siyang tumakbo or gumalaw or gumagalaw yung picture.
Special
At the end
effects.
Apo. At the end of the 19th century, this new art form became one of the most popular and influential media of the 20th century and beyond.
Yan.
Next po is jewelry. Throughout the century, jewelry is a decorative object worn on clothes or body that are usually made from valuable metals such as gold and silver and precious stones. Jewelry are objects of personalized adornment, prized for the craftsmanship going to their creation and generally for the value of their components as well. So ang jewelry is may kantidad talaga siya na may pwede mo siyang maibenta kasi
Syempre.
may process siya na pinagdadaanan para maging accessory.
Ito yung isa sa mga pinakamagandang art forms na magandang i-invest. Kasi normally itong mga bagay na to, bira tong mag-depreciate. Puro to appreciate. Pataas ng pataas yung value. Lalo na ang gold, ladies and gentlemen. Kaya kung meron kayo nakikita mga taong mahilig mag-invest sa mga ganito, yung mga nagpapakita magandami mga burilolo ng gold, actually hindi yan for the sake na, okay, it's a form of art. Pinapakita niya na ganung uri ng arts, bling-bling so whatsoever, na made of gold or silver. Pero isa sa mga pinaka-purpose talaga dyan actually is investment. Okay. Kung ako tatanungin saan ka mag-invest sa mga damit tapos sa mga jewelry, I rather invest in jewelries kasi yung damit kasi bumababa ang presyo. Yung jewelries hindi or bihira. 'Di ba? Kaya ang dami diyan. For example, walang-wala ka ngayon. O di isangla mo muna sa mga kung ano nung ano 'yan. Louis diyan. O di ba? Or mga kung anong pwedeng yung nag-appraise ng mga ganyang uri ng jewelries. O tapos pag meron ka ng pera, o di bawiin mo, balukatan mo liga 'yon. So, maganda siya. Hindi lang siya for the sake of art. Pwede rin siya for investment. Let's proceed, ma'am.
Next po is installation art. Installation art is an artistic genre that involves the configuration or installation of objects in a space such as a room or warehouse and used to describe large-scale mixed media constructions. Installation art also described as environments often occupy an entire room or gallery space. Tulad po ng makikita natin sa dyan po sa illustration, minamaximize niya yung space na pwede pang paglagyan, which is nag-a-add din siya ng attraction or nag-a-attract siya ng attention ng viewers. This focuses on how the viewer experience the work and the desire to provide an intense experience for them. And that is a dominant theme in installation art. Next po.
Okay.
Next is ideal approach in teaching in elementary pupils in relation to visual arts. First is act it out. History teacher can use creative movement and drama to bring bygone eras to life. Science teachers might go a little wild by letting students act out the plant life cycle. Even math teachers can have a little learners stand up and sit down to represent various fractions. Sa visual arts naman, kailangan i-act ng teacher or ipadama sa students kung ano yung nais i-convey ng isang artwork or isang art form. Second is make collage and models. Clay and popsicle sticks are examples of sculpting materials that cost little. You can further cut the cost of supplies by making handmade Play-Doh, or better yet, letting your students help in the activity fits your curriculum.
Okay.
Most of elementary pupils creating different forms using clays. Most of elementary pupils enjoyed creating different forms using clays. Sa pamamagitan nito, nai-enhance yung creativity nila and na-absorb nila yung lesson.
Yep.
Third is use drawings and illustration. Your learners don't have to create possible representation. When we say possible representation, yung talagang magandang-maganda siya. Or yung actual talaga niyang itsura. Possible representation of dandelions and other flowers. However, sketching out blueprint-like models help them develop abstract thinking skills and see how various items integrate. Yan po. Example po is yung sketching na nagre-represent ng simplicity of construction of an artwork or art form.
Okay, tama yung sinabi ni ma'am. So, mga ka-eduk, just remind you this. Okay? Lalo kung magtuturo kayo sa primary schoolers. These are all emerging learners. So, dapat, pag sa elementary education, in that sense po, sa hierarchy of learning, ang pinaka number one, pinaka nasa baba ng pyramid is experience. So, kung nag-experience pa lang yung bata, pabayaan nyo lang, kahit anong magawa niyan, of course, with the direct supervision of the teacher, kasi baka kainin yan. Halo kung clay. Kung nagugutom na yung bata, biglang kinain. So, iingatan mo yon. Pero kung ano man mabuo ng bata, kahit hindi naman po ganun ka, let's say, as in copycat nung pinapagawa ninyong subject, ay accept nyo. Kasi pag dito kasi pa lang, sinabihan mo yung bata na, ano ba yan, pangit-pangit ng gawa mo, ay, di na yan magpa-participate sa'yo next meeting. Kasi, ano yan, inunahan mo na. So, yung bata, magkakaroon na ng frustrations. O, diba? So, kung may ganyan kang experiences, naku, baguhin ninyo. Bilang kayo kasi magiging kayong guro. Kung ano yung makita nyo sa bata, kahit pangit talaga yan, sabihin nyo yung bata, wow, very good. Next time, mas pagandahin. Ganon. Bakit tingnan mo to, manya ka nga, nanganus-kanus na. Daan na, pinundun mo to sa wakos, tapos na, that's the end. Kawawa yung bata. So, tamang approach sa bata, importante. Let's proceed, ma'am.
Use drawings and illustrations. It is the easiest way for elementary pupils to develop their abstract thinking skills and see how various items integrate. Fourth is turn fractions into music. If your class is too rambunctious to sit still for your lecture, you can also use the old game of musical chairs to teach percentage. After each round, have students calculate the ratio of standing to seated individuals, getting their bodies moving a little burns of energy so they can focus.
This is one of the techniques. Ang tawag dito group dynamics or group dynamism sa loob ng classroom. Ginagawa to sa inyo palagi. Ang purpose nito para hindi naman yung bata maboring sa loob ng classroom. Okay? Yan ang purpose niyan. Okay? So, ang daming types niya yan. Isang halimbawa yung sinabi ni ma'am, pero madami po pong style yan. At you can recreate that. At matututunan nyo yan, I think, sa PE4 ninyo sa recreational activities. Yan, yung gagawin nyo yan mga ganyan. Sa sports and recreation. Okay? Let's proceed po, ma'am.
So, turn fractions into music. It is a way on how a teacher handle his or her class with different behavior of an elementary pupils. Fifth is tell picture stories. Try to add visual components to your lectures whenever possible. You can show slideshows or short YouTube video clips. Getting students up to pantomime is another way to use arts integrations across subjects while harnessing student energy.
Yeah. Ano tawag dyan? Energizers! yan yung gustong-gusto ng mga elementary teachers. Okay? Sige, Pam.
Nowadays po, yung mga bata, hindi na bago sa YouTube. Yan madalas yung mga pinapanood nila na form of media na mas nakakatch yung attention nila and doon talaga sila nag-i-stick ng kanilang attention. And aside from panonood ng mga video clips, nag-enjoy talaga sila and makukup nila or kukuha talaga nila yung lesson about sa lecture.
Yep. Okay, let's proceed.
Sixth is memorize through song. Rote memorization is challenging. While your principal job is teaching learners critical thinking skills, sometimes there are no substitute for the rapid recall of information. People have used music to help them memorize since before the invention of the alphabet song. So, there were many artworks that might be hard for elementary pupils to recognize it as time passed by. So, by putting or memorizing it through song, it will help them to recall the message that of a certain artwork or art forms and what it is all about.
Okay. So, ang sikreto para magamit yung visual arts sa kanta is kinakailangan nyo ng instructional material. For example, acoustics. Nag-acoustics na kayo nung bata pa kayo. A is for apple, B is for ball, C is for cat. Ganon. So, may halong rhyme, may halong song, pero may pinapakita kayo dapat na visual aids sa mga bata. In that way, the children is learning through experience, visual, and by audio. Kaya may tinatawag tayong audio-visual learning. Mas maganda kaya yon. Kasi 75% sa mata, and of course, yung pakikinig is about 30%. So, that's 100%, okay, holistic learning para sa mga bata. Okay ba yon sa inyo? So, don't forget to use instruction materials. Dapat ang inyong mga materials ay kung po pwede palaging colorful, visible, vivid, and can attract the learner. Likewise, itong ginawit ninyo ngayon, di ba sabi ko sa inyo, dapat colorful at nababasa ng ating mga viewers. Alright ba, ma'am? Let's proceed po.
That's all po, sir.
Alright, thank you very much, Ma'am Natalie. And wag na natin patagalin. Let's proceed na po sa next discussant. And we have again, Ma'am Daisy Malapo. Ikaw na po, Ma'am.
A pleasant good morning, everyone. I'm Daisy T. Malapo, and we are going to discuss the topic 2, understanding the subject of visual arts and their elements and principle understanding in visual art, identifying theme, mode, tone, and composition. To really understand visual arts, one must move beyond stating the obvious and add perceptive and personal insight. Viewers should demonstrate higher order of thinking, like analyzing, evaluating, and synthesizing information and ideas from visual observation. In doing visual art analysis, the four feature, theme, mode, tone, and composition, the elements, and the principle are to be considered. So, for we understand the visual art, we need to experience reflecting the world and the time in which we live. We understand our story, our culture, our lives, and the experience of others in a manner that cannot be achieved to other means. So, di ba, may mga tao talaga, through arts, nila pinapakita yung emotion nila para sila ating maintindihan through arts. And then, may mga viewers talagang sinusuri nila ang isang visual arts through analyzing, evaluating, and synthesizing information at inobserbahan nila ito upang maintindihan nila. So, I focuses in 4 features of visual arts. First one is theme. Relates to the meaning of a painting rather than the subject, which is specific and basics. So, it is a kind of concept, yung konsepto na ating gagawin para sa ating arts. For example, in elementary, as a future educator, kailangan natin mag-isip ng theme na babagay sa mga bata at maintindihan nila iyon, theme na ating naisip. Like the visual art, or when we paint, we need to think a theme before we start to painting. Kasi yun na yung meaning ng ating gagawin kasi dun tayo magsisimula. So, the example of theme is freedom, social change, heroes, and leaders, invented, industry, and etc. The next one is mode. Mode is this atmosphere in a painting or the feeling expressed. Is the art tranquil or is it dark and disturbing? So ito yung maganda kasi dito naipipinta ang iyong nararamdaman. Naipapakita mo ito through arts. Dito nalalaman ng viewers ang iyong emotion or feeling like happy, and love, scared, sad, and etc. For example, in elementary, di ba, ang mga teachers sometimes galit sila, sinisigawan nila yung mga people kasi di nakikinig. Yung mukha ni teacher parang stress na. Minsan naman masaya si teacher, nagpapalaro and then nagbibigay pa nga ng premyo. Yung mood nila pinapakita nila sa mukha or sa gawa. It's like in visual arts. Na-express nila yung mood through arts. Doon natin nilalabas at nalalaman ng viewers ang iyong ginawa na painting. Kung yun na ba ay masaya, malungkot, at etc. The example of mode is calm, content, peaceful, relaxed, cheerful, happy, romantic, depressed, and sad, and etc. So the next is tone. Refers to the lightness or darkness of color use, which can help to create a sense or depth or distance in art. So, yung tone, it is depends on lightening or darkness ng isang painting. Magiging makulay ang ginawa kung gagamitin nito. And then sa tone, doon natin nakikita yung kulay ng buhay ng isang artist. For example, si teacher may pupil A, B, C, and D. Lahat yun may iba't ibang pinagdadaanan sa buhay. May student siyang madilim ang buhay, may maliwanag o maganda ang buhay, and etc. Isang tingin mo lang sa isang student, malalaman mo na ang kulay ng buhay niya. Kasi kumbaga, ikaw yung artist ng mga student mo. And it's like a visual arts. Ganun po sa visual arts din po na kumbaga tayo yung as a teacher, as a artist, tayo po yung alam na natin kung anong kulay na meron po tayo. For example po nun is dark, light, flat, curvating, smooth, and plain. So, the last one is the composition or the underlying structure of the art. Refers to where the artist places the subject matter. So, dito sa composition, yun na yung subject matter na gagamitin mo talaga sa pag-paint. Kasi, yun yung center ng gagawin mo. And then, dito ka na magde-decide if yung gagawin mong paint is landscape ba, portrait, or etc. Kasi doon na nakabase yung subject matter kung saan mo siya ilalagay at anong position ba. So, yan po yung composition, the four of feature. And then, we proceed to the analysis of A Dance of Life by the Edvard Munch. So, si Edvard Munch is a Norwegian, a painter and printmaker. So, A Dance of Life is a painting of dancing couple. Kung makikita niyo po yun dyan sa picture, yan po yung A Dance of Life. On the left, a young woman in a white floral dress stand watching which symbolize innocence and youth. On the right naman, an old woman in an unbleached black dress stand apart, thin face wrinkled, hands clasped tight. The old woman signified loneliness and sorrow. So si Edvard Munch, meron po siyang four feature. Like composition. Centers on a man in the black and a woman in red. Yun po yung subject matter niya. And then, yung mood naman na ginawa ni Edvard Munch sa A Dance of Life is an easy. Yung tone naman is dark. Yung theme naman is convey various stages of a woman's life and passage of time and death rather than family love and closeliness. Kasi hindi po mawawala yung four feature kasi yun po yung pinaka-importante sa kung gagawa po tayo ng painting. Kailangan may apat na features. Remember, the four feature is composition, mode, tone, and the last one is tone. So, the visual art is important that can help students bring up their creativity as well as develop their personality. That's all po. Thank you.
Run out po kasi. Good day everyone. This is Cristina Vea Abarcasuya from BEd 1A. Today I am going to discuss the principle of visual art is organized elements within a work of art. So yung principle of art is ito yung ginagamit ng mga artists to organize their art na mas mapaganda pa lalo yung art of work. So principle visual art is harmony. Harmony is a way of combining similar elements in artwork to accent their similarities. So according to my research, it is the visually satisfying effect of combining similar or related elements. So isa itong way upang mapagsama-sama ang mga same elements sa mga art sa isang art at ang harmony ay isang napaka-importante sa isang larangan ng sining dahil ito ang nagbigay buhat umuunay sa bawat elemento namit ng artist sa isang artwork. So second is rhythm. Rhythm is a type of design that indicates movement created by the careful placement of pen elements in a art visual tempo or beat. So, yung rhythm naman is yung paggamit ng mga object, shape, color, form or pattern ng paulit-ulit sa isang work of art. So, ang rhythm is nakakabuo rin siya ng harmony sa isang work of art. So, third is balance. Balance is a way of blending elements to add a feeling of equilibrium or stability to our work of art. Major tasks are cynical and asymmetrical. So, balance po is a way to blend mga elements upang madagdagan yung chance ng isang work of art, at ito rin ang ginagamit upang maging equal balance, or yun nga, maging balance yung mga colors or elements na ginamit sa isang work of art. So, fourth is proportion. Proportion is a principle of design that refers to the relationship of individual elements to full each other. So, ito yung relationship ng mga malalaki or anything na ginamit sa isang work. So, fifth is the emphasis. Emphasis is a way of mixing elements to stress the differences between those elements. So, ito yung paghahalo-halo ng mga elements upang mabagyang diin ang pagkakaiba ng bawat elements na ginamit sa isang work of art. Ito rin ang ginagamit upang makuha ng mga manonood ang point or main point ng isang work of art. So, sixth is the variety. Variety is a principle of design concerned with diversity of contrast. It is achieved by using different shapes, sizes, or colors in work of art. So, ito yung ginagamit ng artist kung paano ma-add or madagdagan ng complexity sa isang work of art. Sa isang work of art, using visual elements at sa pamamagitan ng paglalagay nito sa isang art is magiging mas interesting yung gawa ng isang artist. So last is movement. Movement is a principle of design applied to create the look and feel of action and to guide the viewer's eye throughout the work of art. So ito yung pag-a-apply ng mga artist upang maka-create ng movement or feel of action at mag-guide ng mga viewers sa buong artwork ng isang artist. And ma-identify mo yung movement sa isang work of art sa pamamagitan ng pag-draw ng mga linyang nagmumula sa bagay na gumagalaw. So, next po is yung analysis of sample of one of the best work of art of Vincent van Gogh entitled Starry Night. So, yung harmony ng paint na ito is using similar elements. Sabi ko nga kanina, yung harmony is paggamit ng mga elements na magkakatulad throughout the composition to make sure it does not look intricate. So, in the rhythm of this painting naman is the seen in the repetition of the shapes and colors. And the balance naman is the large dark tree. Nakikita niyo po yung dark tree helps to balance the bright moon in the opposite corner. Yung bright moon sa gilid po. So, next naman is yung proportion naman ng painting na ito is has a perfect proportion in the opposite corner. So, yung emphasis naman is, the emphasis in this painting is the bright yellow moon. So, yung emphasis is, as I said kanina po, refers to the focus of interest that pulls spectators are to significant parts of work. So, the variety of this, paint is, makikita nyo po yung variety niya sa bright and dark colors, as well as the color and warm colors in the swirls and the curves of the hills next to the sharpness in the shape of the houses. So next is the movement. The movement of this painting is the dark tree moves. The dark tree moves your eye up, the twirls and the spins carry your eye to the moon, and the color in the moon leads your eye to the light yellow streak beneath it. When each turn leads your eye back to the dark tree. So
That's all. Thank you.
Alright, thank you very much, Ma'am Christine. Well said. Okay, critically said. Ganun pala ang eksena kapag nag-brown out. Talagang ano yan, nagiging efficient yung ano yan eh. Kasi may halo ng ano yan. So anyway, thank you very much ulit. Ma'am Tin, huwag kang aalis, sadyan ka lang. Okay, matatapos na tayo. Okay, kinabahan ako kanina. So well said, ma'am. So meron lang akong idadagdag kay ma'am. Meron po tayong tinatawag na rules of third. Paano nyo malaman yung rules of third? Pag kayo nag-edit ng picture sa inyong laptop, may lumalabas dyan na siyam na square. Siyam na rectangle. Okay, yun po yung magbibigay sa inyo ng idea if that is asymmetrical or symmetrical in terms of balance. Sa proportion naman po, rules of thirds. So, ibig sabihin, meron po talaga nandito sa gilid, merong gitnang-gitna, meron naman sa kabila. Pwede po siya. Part talaga po yan ng visual arts. Hindi po talaga literal lahat palagi sa center. Kasi kung lahat palagi sa center, ang boring. Diba? So may chances na iniiba yan. Depende po sa perception po ng artist gamit itong mga diniscuss na elemento ng arts ni Ma'am Tin. Thank you very much, Ma'am Tin. Let's proceed na po sa ating last discussant. And I think nandito na si Sir. Atat na si Sir. Okay ka lang, Sir? Ikaw yung pinakahuli. So let's do this, Sir. Okay?
So, okay, thank you and good morning again. I will continue the discussion of understanding the subjects of visual arts and their elements and principles. So, now that we discussed the principles of visual arts, let us know what are the elements of visual arts, and later we do an analysis of an artwork made by Rafael Sanzio, the School of Athens. So, firstly, what is the elements of visual arts? So they are the visual components of color, form, line, shape, space, texture, and value. So these components are like building blocks of arts and design, as it creates a model or an image through the use of the following elements. So now let's go to the first element, which is the line. So line is an element of art illustrated by a point moving in space. It can be 2 or 3-dimensional, descriptive, implied, or abstract. So lines may be straight, curved, angular, flowing, horizontal, vertical, diagonal, contour, thick, thin, implied, and etc. So line is the basic and versatile element of visual arts. In designing a canvas or in an artwork, line can be used in many different ways. It can produce patterns, depth, distance, etc. or simply to divide the canvas with shapes and form. So kumbaga, before po tayo mag-sketch, lagi na una ang line. So para makagawa tayo na artwork. So next is the shape. So shape is the 2-dimensional, flat, or strained to height and width. Shape can be geometrical or organic. So if you're not familiar to geometrical or organic shapes, geometrical are shapes that are perfect and regular. For example, circle, triangle, and rectangle, etc. And organic are shapes that are irregular, meaning to make the design more natural. So example po nun is mga ibon, mga puno, ganon. So shape creates an effective graphic design. Kapag in-enclose mo ang line, makakagawa ka ng shape, mainly to form a familiar object or image. Okay. So next is the form. The form is a 3-dimensional and possesses volume. Includes height, width, and depth. Example of it is a cube, a sphere, a pyramid, or a cylinder. Form may also be free-flowing. So ang form po ay parang enhanced design po siya ng shape kasi ang shape is 2D and flat. Now, the form has a 3D and includes the depth to make an illusion. So, parang makukumbinsi ka sa painting na para siyang totoong object or actual object, pero pag tinignan mo na mabuti is painting lang pala. So, next is the space. Space is an element of art by which positive and negative areas are defined or a sense of depth achieved in a work of art. So, about the position of the image, yun po yung space na nag-create po lang ng balance. wherein it creates an illusion that makes some objects bigger and closer than others.
Yan.
So space is very important para hindi magulo ang painting.
Oh, subukan
Also,
nyo kayang punuin lahat. Subukan nyo punuin lahat.
Opo. And also para ma-maximize yung edge ng paper or canvas din po.
Actually, meron ditong ano yan ang parang negative integrity ng space sa isang artwork na tinatawag nating poster making. Remember sa poster making, ano sabi? Dapat daw punuin nyo. 'Di ba di ba sumali na kayo sa ganyang event? Dapat daw punuin. Sabi ko, kung hindi nyo kung papupunuin nyo yan lahat, parang walang hihingahan yung objects. At halos hindi na makikita yung pinaka-purpose, yung pinaka-team. Kaya, meron dong negative integrity sa space. So, sana mabago yan ng ating mga ang nagpapa-competition. There should always be a space para yung nanonood, makahinga naman. No, may hingahan din sa visual arts kasi kung kumpul-kumpul yan lahat, 'di ba? Medyo yan. Pero normal yan hindi talaga maiiwasan because we have different perspective and preference in artworks. Lalo yung doodle art puno yun, 'di ba? Pero kahit doodle art yan, meron yang space na kung saan walang doodle. Yung pinaka-theme talaga. Kasi pag nawala yung theme, natabunan ng lahat ng mga sub-themes, nako po, magkakaroon po ng negative integrity pagdating sa space or spatial. Let's proceed, sir.
So next po is the color. So color is an art composed of 3 characteristics: the hue, value, and intensity. So color can be primary, secondary, mixed, complementary, monochromatic, decorative, warm, cool, dark, and etc. So ang color po ini-influence po ang mood and atmosphere of the artwork. So ang hue is the name of color. So ang hue is through the use of colors that don't have tinted or shade-like colors. Pure po siya. Example po nun is blue, red, yellow, orange, green, and purple. And the value po is hues, lightness, and darkness. Or a color's value changes when adding white or black to it. So ang value po is used to make objects look three-dimensional.
Yeah.
And the intensity po is the degree of brightness and purity. Or the high intensity, the color is sharp and bright, and low intensity, the color is faint and dull. So ang intensity, nagkikreate po siya ng illusion by depth po. So next, and last element is the texture. So texture indicates the way things feel or look as if they might feel if touched. Texture can be rough, smooth, real, implied, repeating, and etc. So texture po is used to give an illusion to the object to make it realistic, to add details that gives you the impression to feel the image. So example po niyan yung mga leaves, skins, wood, stone, etc. po. So now let's have an analysis of the artwork, The School of Athens by Rafael Sanzio. So the School of Athens po is an classic example which manifestly embodies line, shape, color, form, space, and texture in a single painting. Kumbaga po, itong painting na to ay nandyan na pong lahat-lahat ng elements of visual arts.
Yep.
So start muna po tayo sa content, medium, and composition. So ang content po nito is the subject of the painting is the assembly of Greek philosophers, including Plato and Aristotle. Yun po yung sa gitna, yung dalawa sa gitna po. And the medium po is the material used by the artist, which is painted in fresco, which means it was done on wet plaster. So ang artwork po ni Rafael Sanzio ay ginawa sa pader, mainly to decorate the walls of the Apostolic Palace in Vatican during the Renaissance. And the composition, the painting is done in a pyramidal arrangement, meaning to give an impression of stability. So now, the lines and forms. So all the lines converge Plato and Aristotle's head, which give is the pyramidal composition, stability. And there is also an interest in accurate body proportion. The form showed a lot of depth to the walls and archways of the building that make architecture pop out and looks 3D. So nabanggit ko po noon, yung forms po is 3D or 3-dimensional, and ang lines po is parang kinikreate po yung dinidivide po yung um, mga design or details po sa isang artwork. Then the shape po, so we all know that element shape is 2D or two-dimensional. So in the painting, Raphael used warm light to focus the people at the back and shadows are applied to the people in front para makagawa ng illusion sa flat surface. So focus po tayo sa mga philosophers o yung mga tao sa painting. Napapansin nyo, ang nasa likod is more on warm or light colors.
Yep.
And the people from the front or yung foreground ay may shadows or most dark in colors po. So yun pa yung pinafocus ng shape. Then the space po, nabanggit ko na sa space is important para hindi magulo or crowded ang painting. Similar dito sa painting, crowded na mga philosophers. So ang spacing na ginawa ni Raphael ay pinalaki niya yung foreground or yung mga tao na nasa harap kaysa sa mga nasa likod. So parang sa harap mo na yung mga tao na nasa unahan and then yung mga nasa likod is parang malayo pag finocus mo. Then Then the color. So Raphael used mostly natural colors with lots of browns and grays. He uses mostly warm earthly tones with some subtle blue and green called accents. Raphael did not use bright colors because he intended the mood to be more solemn. Ang solemn po is formal and dignified. Then the value is used well to create depth and shading.
Siyempre gagawin mo sa Vatican eh. Dapat talaga solemn.
Solemn talaga.
Oo. Diba?
So
Okay,
ang
sir.
mapapansin niyo po, yung color is used browns and grays and some warm colors with blue and green accents para may diverse and maraming variety na magkakaiba sa isa't isa, hindi lang pare-pareho, di ba po? Then the last element is the texture. So Raphael used texture and repetition together while designing the floor and ceiling. Patterns, ayan, may repetition po. Of designs, mostly patterns are included. The texture of the painting are mostly solid and flat, created by the floor and walls. It creates the feeling that if someone touches the walls and floors, it will be smooth. So mapapansin nyo po, yung details ng design sa walls and floors, walang bitak-bitak or cracks on the surface po. So mostly smooth and details na ginamit ang texture po. Yun lang po.
Alright, thank you very much, Sir Millard. Alright, yan, ladies and gentlemen, dito na po nagtatapos ang ating discussion. So, well said, sir. So, si sir, ano yan, may idea na kung paano po mag-appreciate ng arts gamit yung different elements. At idadagdag ko pa, yan kasi inilagay yan po sa wall. Ngayon, para yung maging 3D ang dating, isa sa pinaka-importanting elemento ng Renaissance art is the combination of art itself and science. So, ang tawag po dyan, para nagkaroon ng space, nakikita ninyo may depth na yung dating, although that is painted on a flat screen. Ladies and gentlemen, ang tawag po dyan is perspective. So pag meron na pong perspective isang painting, makikita nyo na po yung Z, which is the depth. That's why it is painted in a 2D object and a flat wall, but it represents a 3D or three-dimensional feature or artwork. Yun lamang po, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much po. At salamat sa Diyos at natapos na natin ang ating usapan po ngayong araw regarding sa visual art. So, konting review lang natin mga ka-eduk. So, ngayong hapon, hapon na pala. Ano ba? Lunch na ba? 11:40. So, ngayong umaga po mga ka-eduk, so diniscuss natin yung mga topics regarding po sa visual arts. Namely po, we have the forms, types, the features and the elements used, and of course the mediums in doing or creating visual arts. Maraming salamat po sa ating mga discussion. Congratulations po sa inyong lahat. Okay, naitawid natin ang unang topic po ng inyong JEC 16, which is visual arts. Kaya lang arts appreciation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call on again our discussants, for our word of thanks. So, let's start po kay Ma'am Daisy Malapo. Ma'am, word of thanks po.
Thank you guys sa pakikinig.
Alright, thank you very much, Ma'am. And Ma'am Diana June Abanel, word of thanks, Ma'am.
Thank you so much, and I hope you learned something special today. Thank you.
Alright, thank you very much, Ma'am. Ma'am Tricia Maydrio.
Thank you po.
Tawa siya, salamat sa Diyos na matapos na. Alright, thank you very much, Ma'am. And Ma'am Tanya Sabio, Ma'am, pinakamadaming discussion.
Thank Thank you guys for listening and happy lunch.
Alright, Sir Millard.
Okay, thank you po sa mga pakikinig po sa amin. Maingay po dito. Pero salamat po again po.
Alright, thank you, sir. And Ma'am Carmela? Medyo nawala si Ma'am. Okay, sige. Sige, Ma'am.
Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from our discussion. Thank you po ulit.
Alright, and Ma'am Natalie?
Thank you po sa time and sana po nag-enjoy po kayo.
Alright, thank you very much, Ma'am. And we have Ma'am Maria, Ma'am, for the thanks.
Thank you po sa lahat ng nakinig and God bless po.
Alright, thank you very much, Ma'am. At yung kinabahan ako kanina biglang nawala, Ma'am Christine, for the thanks po.
Thank you so much po sa pakikinig. I hope marami kayong natutunan. Thank you.
Alright, this is CJ Casenta, your host, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you very much po dito sa ating mga 9 discussants po ngayong araw regarding sa visual arts. Okay? In this course, Arts Appreciation or JAC 16. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Thank you very much. Magandang umaga. And have a good lunch time po sa ating lahat. Okay, once again, this is your host, CJ Casenta, nag-iwasang kataga in this time of pandemic. Para matuto ng malupit, di adet, bad mapaknet. Maraming salamat po. Congratulations. And keep safe palagi. Bye-bye po.